Modifications. Usually stem is derived from plumule of embryo. Plumule of embryo. Root arises from radicle of embryo. So embryo is having some special parts. This, if you take it is an embryo, from the embryo it is a radicle, root arises, and from the plumule shoot arises. That is nothing but stem arises. Stem arises from plumule of embryo. Okay, right. So actually the stem is maybe actual stem is aerial, slightly growing towards the light side, right? Above the ground, aerial. It is always aerial, right? Paina untundi. It grows above the ground, and it is having, if you see, normal stem is having nodes and internodes. They are called as nodes, and the space between the node and node called as internode. And from the node point leaf arises. Okay, or maybe from the node branch maybe arises. Branch also arises from node. Okay, right. So here the angle between the node and the leaf is called as axil. Here bud will be arises. That is a growing bud called as axillary bud. And tip of the stem is also having one more bud called as terminal bud. What is axillary bud? Axillary bud means the angle between leaf and stem bud is there, that is called axillary bud. From the axillary bud actually branches develop, and the tip of the stem is also having one more bud called as terminal bud or apical bud. So two buds, apical bud and axillary bud. They are helping growth of the stem. Maybe side means side growth is taken by axillary bud, that means branches are developed from axillary bud, and straight growth taken up by apical bud. Right. So what is the function of the stem? Stem usually help in transport of food materials, right, and giving strength, that means aerial strength to the plant body, and develops branches, right. So that's the main function of the stem. Other than this, if it is performing, that is called what? Modification. Usually actual stem, normally plant is having stem will be aerial only, right? But in some plants it may be underground, it may be creep on the ground, that is called subaerial. So the stem may be aerial or subaerial or underground. Aerial, subaerial or underground. That means if we will take about underground stem modification, sometimes plant is not, that means stem is underground. Stem is not in the above the ground, it is inside the ground, that is called underground stem. Underground stem performs other than its main function, like it takes pernation, that means long living capacity, pernation. Okay, and stores food material. Underground stem mainly concerned with the pernation and food materials, stores food materials, and also help in that means vegetative reproduction. Vegetative reproduction means the part of the plant, if you cut it and put it in the soil, it may be develops into a new plant, that is called as vegetative reproduction. So it may be help in pernation, storing food material, or may be involved in reproduction. Okay, so right, so that is called underground stem. Underground stem examples are rhizome, ginger, and ginger. Next, calm, amorphophallus, stem tuber, potato, bulb, onion. So these are different type of underground stem modifications. Usually rhizome grows horizontally in the soil. Example is ginger, horizontally in the soil, and the leaves are reduced. Actually stem bears leaves, right? Here the stem is underground and it creep on the ground horizontally, right? So here the leaves are reduced to scale leaves, reduced to scales anamata. Scale leaves are there, and it forms buds, right? That bud maybe develops into a new plant, extended like that. Example is ginger. Apart from ginger, so many examples are there, like what it is, turmeric, that means curcuma longa, turmeric, and musa paradisiaca, banana, and ginger. This is called a gingiber officinalis. So these are some of the examples. Next, Calm means here the stem grows vertically in the soil. Example is Amorphophallus means Jamin Kand, right? And apart from it, it is Colocasia is also example. Colocasia means I don't know in English, Chamadumpa, right? Colocasia. This is Jamin Kand. Right. Stem tuber means here the stem is underground and it is having scale leaves, and specialized structures are there called as eyes. Eyes are the reproductive parts of the stem tuber. All these are storing food materials only. Underground stem means mainly concerned with the food material and long living capacity and involved in vegetative reproduction, right? So stem tuber is having a specialized structures called as eyes. If you see potato is having small eye-like structures. These eyes are the reproductive parts. If you cut the eye and grown in the soil, it will be developed into a new plant. Okay, so that is stem tuber. Example is potato. Next, bulb. If you see the bulb, that means actually here the stem is reduced to a disc-like structure. On the above this, many scale leaves are there. They are storing food material and become bulb-like structure, and from the base of this adventitious roots are developed. That is called as bulb. Example is onion, Allium cepa. Scale leaves are storing food material. Leaves are reduced to scales, right? That scale leaves are storing food materials and becomes bulges. Okay, that is bulb. So for this tricky sentence ante राइट. हमारे फ्रिज में फ्रिज हियर फ्रिज नॉट रिज इज राइजोम. ओके, हमारे फ्रिज में जिंजर के साथ काम का जमीन कंद, स्टेम ट्यूबर का पोटैटो है, बल्ब का ऑनियन भी है. यू कैन मेक इट सेंटेंस लाइक दिस. हमारे फ्रिज में जिंजर के साथ काम का एमॉर्फोफालस दैट इज जमीन कंद है, स्टेम ट्यूबर का पोटैटो है और बल्ब का ऑनियन भी है. व्हाट इज देयर इन योर फ्रिज? इफ एनीबडी आस्क लाइक दैट, हमारे फ्रिज में राइजोम फ्रिज में जिंजर के साथ काम का जमीन कंद है, स्टेम ट्यूबर का पोटैटो है, बल्ब का ऑनियन भी है. यू कैन मेक सेंटेंस लाइक दिस. Right, so these are underground stem modifications. So we are discussing about aerial stem modifications now. Aerial stem modifications. Actually, aerial stem modifications means normally growing stem without any modification. If normal stem is growing, right, that is called as aerial. If it is performing some modifications, light modifications, okay, so that is called as aerial stem modifications. That may be tendril, thorn, phylloclade, cladode, that means cladophyll, bulby, right? So tendril means usually I already told you that the stem is having two buds, axillary bud and terminal bud, right? So this axillary bud and terminal bud maybe turns to wiry coiled structure that is called as tendril. Wiry coiled structure. Usually if you see cucurbitaceae family like watermelon, cucumber, these are all plants are growing on the ground, right? So they are having tendrils. They are having what? Tendrils. For the support and for climbing they are having tendril like structures, right? So those are called as tendrils. That means the axillary bud, maybe the apical bud or terminal bud is turns to tendril. Okay, example I already told you that watermelon, cucumber, and even these are axillary bud actually. And if a terminal bud is turns to, that is example is Vitis grapevine, Vitis vinifera, grapes, right? So coming to the thorns, thorns means usually sharp pointed structures are called as thorns, right? They are help in protection. They are help in what? They mainly concern with the protection. If any animal eating come to this plant by these thorns, it will be protected, right? So example is bougainvillea and citrus, right? Next, phylloclade. Phylloclade means usually stem is not perform photosynthesis, right? But in sometimes like desert plants and some temperated plants, high temperature tolerated plants, they should not have leaves, because if they have leaves, due to they are growing in desert like dry areas, so they are having lack of water. So if the leaves are there, more transpiration takes place and the loss of water takes place, right? So that in these plants, leaves are reduced to scales or spines, and to perform photosynthesis, stem is modified into photosynthetic structure. It may be flattened. In Opentia, or it may be cylindrical in Euphorbia, or maybe needle-like in Casuarina. Okay, that means phylloclade means photosynthetic stem is called as phylloclade. It may be flattened, Opentia, it may be cylindrical in Euphorbia, or maybe it may be needle-like in Casuarina. Okay, right. What is meant by chlorophyll then? Actually, in this chlorophyll, it is also a photosynthetic stem only. But here the branches are becoming flattened. Okay, they are called as cladophylls. They are called what? Cladophylls. Example is asparagus. Okay, right. Next, bulbil. What is meant by bulbil means, actually in some plants, axillary bud is turns to bulb-like structure and storing food material. This is what axillary bud. I said axillary bud is turns to bulb-like structure, that is called as bulbil. Example is Dioscorea. In sometimes terminal bud is becoming bulb-like structure, that is example is agave. So these are aerial stem modifications. Tendril, watermelon and cucumber, thorn, bougainvillea and citrus, phylloclade, Opentia, Euphorbia, Casuarina, cladophyll, asparagus, bulbil, Dioscorea and agave. Wait. Right. So these are aerial stem modifications. In some plants, stem is weak and it creep on the ground. So those plants are called as subaerial. subaerial. So that subaerial stem is modified to perform some function that is called as subaerial stem modifications. Subaerial stem modifications. If you see the subaerial stem modifications, runner, stolen, sucker, offset. Runner, stolen, sucker and offset. Runner, that means actually it is a weak. I already told you subaerial stems are very weak. They're near to the ground. Okay, so in these runners means they are creep on the ground, and every node it forming a niche. That means it forming a break, and from that break it develops into adventitious root system. It develops what? Adventitious root system. So and fix on the soil and creep on the ground like a running. So that's why it is called as runner. Okay, understood? Actually in this the stem is weak and creep on the ground and forming at every node it forming what? Niches. That means it forming breaks. That break point it produces some roots. Adventitious roots are developed and it fixing the soil, a plant into the soil. Okay, and creep on the ground like that. If any cut, that means if it is breaked out, it lives as an independent plant. That means it's nothing but it help in vegetative reproduction. Okay, example is oxalis. Okay, coming to the stolen means it's also a weak stem. Here the stem is normally producing branches, right? So some branches after growth they become weak and they grows downward and touches to the soil. When they touches to the soil, it can develop root system. It can develop what? Root system. So this is called stolen. Okay, if you cut it, it can live as an independent plant. Example is Nerium, jasmine. Okay, Nerium and jasmine. Sucker is opposite to stolen actually. Some part of the stem is growing underground. That branch which is growing underground, it produces obliquely upward branches and develops a root system. If it is separated, it lives as an independent plant. That is called sucker, growing upward movement. This one is downward. Example is chrysanthemum, chamanti, chrysanthemum. Okay, right. Coming to the offset means usually it is seen in aquatic plants like Pistia and Eichhornia. Here it is spreading one internode lengthed branches. Each branch is called as offset. It produces a bunch of roots inside and rosette pattern of leaves. This is called as offset. This is called what? Offset. If it is cutted due to the water currents, it may be lives as an independent plant. Example is Pistia and Eichhornia. Okay. Terrestrial offset example is that means it's an aquatic, right? Terrestrial offset example is agave. Right. So these are subaerial stem modifications. Runner, stolen, sucker, offset. Runner example is oxalis, stolen example is Nerium and jasmine, and sucker example is chrysanthemum, and offset example is Pistia and Eichhornia. Okay, right. So these are about stem modifications, aerial, subaerial and underground stem modifications. Now we will go to the leaf modifications. Right, if you see a leaf is developed from cotyledons. Actually, not exactly. Cotyledons are the primitive leaves. Cotyledons are called primitive leaves. Okay, if we see the structure of the leaf, structure of the leaf is having a stalk, right? This is called petiole, and this is lamina, and this is tip of the leaf, and this is midvein, venation, midvein, and these are veinlets, veinlets. Right? Sometimes it is maybe having some small structures called as stipules. Stipules. So this is the leaf structure. Leaf is having petiole, stalk of the leaf is called petiole, and expanded part is called as leaf lamina, and tip, veins, veinlets, and stipules. Okay, right. So this leaf base, this is called as leaf base, and sometime the leaf base may be swollen. Swollen leaf base, that means somewhat expanded base will be there. That is seen in legumes family. Okay. So this is structure of leaf, structure of the leaf, right? Next we'll go for types of the leaves. Types of leaves. Leaves are two types: simple leaf, compound leaf. Simple leaf means this is a branch, stem. From the node, leaf arises, right? Leaf arises. That means it is petiole, right? So petiole is not divided. That means it is exactly called as rachis. Rachis is not divided and it is developed into a leaf, that is called as simple leaf. If the rachis is divided, the leaf lamina is dissected into small parts. Leaf lamina is dissected into small parts. It is called as compound leaf. Compound leaf. Compound leaf may be, it is pinnately compound leaf and palmately compound leaf. Pinnately compound leaf and palmately compound leaf. Pinnately compound leaf means the leaf rachis is divided into so many leaflets. So many small leaflets. They are arranged like a small leaf. Okay, this is called as compound leaf. Example is neem. Neem. If you take an example like neem, curry leaf, that is karvepaku, muraya koyangi, right? So coming to the palmate leaf means here at one point many leaflets are arises, just like this. So that is called as palmately compound. Palmately compound. Here the rachis is divided. It may be again divided. So dichotomous, trichotomous, like that. Decompound leaflets work untundi. Okay, but it is not there in your syllabus. It is previous syllabus. It is there. Right. Coming to the palmate compound leaf. Palmately compound leaves, at a point leaflets are arises. Leaflets are arises. Example, you can go for palmately compound leaf, Seba. I will check the textbook. What is there in the textbook? Bombax Seba. Yes, that is only there. Compound leaf example is Seba pentandra, Bombax Seba. Right. So palmately compound leaf and pinnately compound leaf. So these are the types of leaves. Types of leaves. If you see venation also different. Leaves having reticulate venation and parallel venation. Reticulate venation and parallel venation. Reticulate venation means here the leaf, this is leaf, In the leaf, veins are arranged like a network fashion. Network like arrangement, that is called as reticulate venation. Usually reticulate venation is seen in dicot plants. Usually reticulate venation is seen in dicot plants. Parallel venation means here parallelly arranged. If you take example like grass is having parallel venation. Parallel venation, it is mostly seen in monocots. Monocots are having parallel venation. Parallel venation, reticulate venation and parallel venation. Okay, right. So leaves type, simple leaf and compound leaf. Simple leaf you can go for hibiscus. Hibiscus is a simple leaf. And pinnately compound leaf and palmately compound leaf. Pinnately compound leaf, neem example. Palmately compound leaf example is ceiba, right? And parallel reticulate venation is seen in dicots and parallel venation is seen in monocots, right? Next is phyllotaxy. If you see the phyllotaxy, arrangement of leaves. Arrangement of leaf is called leaflets or leaves on the stem is called as phyllotaxy. Arrangement of leaves on the branch on the stem called as phyllotaxy. Right? It may be alternate, opposite, whorled. Alternate phyllotaxy means at one node only one leaf arises and they are alternate to one another. They are alternate to one another. That is called as alternate phyllotaxy. Example, you can go for hibiscus. Opposite phyllotaxy means this is opposite phyllotaxy. Opposite phyllotaxy, that means two leaves arises and they are opposite to one another. They are opposite to one another. You can go for guava, not guava, guava, Syrium guava, and Calotropis, that is nothing but Gilledu. Right, next, whorled phyllotaxy means many leaves arises at one node. One node, many leaves are arranged. Example is Nerium. Whorled phyllotaxy. Whorled phyllotaxy. So this is about leaves. So leaf types, leaf venation and leaf arrangement. Okay, so what is the function of the leaf? Leaf main function is performing photosynthesis and preparation of food material. That is called preparation of food material. So apart from this, if it is any doing another function, that is called what? Modification, right? So we have to discuss about leaf modifications also. Leaf modifications. Leaf modifications, example tendril. Leaves may be turns to tendril and leaves may be turns to spines and leaves may be turns to scale leaves and leaves may be turns to reproductive leaves and leaves may be turns to insectivorous leaves, right? Insectivorous leaves, and sometime there may be turns to cladodes. Tendril, you know, wiry coil structures which are help in climbing, called as tendrils. Tendril example is Pisum, P. Right. Next, spines example is Opentia. The leaves are reduced to spines. Scale leaves example onion. The scale leaves of the onion stores food material, right? Scale leaves storing food material, onion. Reproductive leaves, their help in reproduction. Example is Bryophyllum and Begonia. Right. Next, insectivorous leaves. Insectivorous leaves, example is Nepenthes. Cladodes. Cladodes means here also they are reduced to small flattened like structures like that of cladophylls. Leaves are very much reduced to flattened like structures, small flattened like structures. They are called as cladodes. Example is acacia. Acacia. So these are leaf modifications. These are what? Leaf modifications. Tendril, pisum, spines, opentia, scale leaves, onion, reproductive leaves, bryophyllum, insectivorous leaves, Nepenthes, cladodes, acacia. So they are for different functions, okay. So reproductive leaves are help in reproduction. That means actually in bryophyllum every notch is having some plant anamata. If it is any rupture takes place, the leaf is ruptured, immediately develops a new plant. New plant will be developed. Insectivorous plants, Nepenthes, they are trapping the insects. Usually it is seen in Assam forest. They are having the soil is lack of nitrogen. Protein deficiency will be there in that plant. So in order to getting the nitrogen, they are trapping the insect by having a pitcher plant. Pitcher like structure, you already know it, right? So traps the insect. That is called as insectivorous plants. Okay, right. So this is about vegetative morphology and root modifications, stem modifications and leaf modifications. Hope you understand. Thank you.